tiebreaker, you're gonna have 4 teams that have the same price. Working on all that stuff.
That's what I don't know.
It also like you're also in like if Charlie but if Ben wins the league, you come in second, and then Charlie wins. Wait, no, hold on. If Ben wins the league, you come in second.
At the end of all this?
And Charlie and I win our league, and we have a worse record, division whatever, and we have a worse record, we'll still be higher. But like,
Okay. We'll see how it works out here.
winning your division.
No, I get it, but it was just like, that seemed more painful for you to describe than me just wait until the end. I appreciate it though.
But yeah, so division matter.
How do we pick divisions?
I don't
That
know.
was before.
No, it's not.
I did notice that.
Well, if they're available. Legends and leaders. Page and number. No, I just said they got rid of their East and West now.
He's the big man. You're gonna probably have a team who's playoff.
We'll take it one game at a time, right?
Yeah, don't look at him.
We're not thinking about Texas A&M yet. We're all about the Broncos.
Wait, they say them next week or you
Next week.
And then Arkansas
Arkansas.
and Missouri.
Going for the
No, I
hard
said
votes.
after Louisiana. Arkansas.
Yeah, Arkansas, Tennessee.
Wait, you skipped. I think it goes Louisiana. Arkansas.
There are definitely places where this is written down, documented. You can
Who is this? I don't know.
What's up here? Twice.
He doesn't do it. Yeah,
Twice.
twice a week.
He does it every day on these teleconferences on Tuesdays.
It sounds like he was like, it sounded like he found it somewhere else.
You're giving him a lot more credit. When it comes to us, at least.
I don't know if I can really do that. Radio show.
We did a Monday press conference, which was like 20 or 30 minutes usually.
That's the thing.
He did advertise to all the same coaches.
Well, he's got Friday the production meeting.
Yeah.
I think we got that.
He gets off really easy.
Tell him that.
Don't.
Yeah, we can have a Sunday teleconference to break down.
Yeah.
Did you see the chat?
Guys, Coach will open with a comment as always. Raise your hand, keep them up for a minute.
How's everybody today? Well, we keep working and working and working with all of our players to sort of understand the standard of how, we need to prepare for a game, how we want to play in a game, standard of work ethic we need to have every day in practice, the standard of accountability that each player needs to have to be able to go do his job, standard of leadership to influence, one other person with the example that you set every day, match my intensity, And I think that the key here is, can you learn before you have to pay dues? And in terms of what it takes to play to a standard. And it's uncomfortable, it's hard, it's difficult. Sometimes the circumstances, the environment, the heat, where you play, all those things make it very, very difficult. And I think players have to have the right mindset to be able to overcome those things. You know, some people can do it, some people struggle. So we don't want to have a catastrophic event, all right, to get us to do the things that we're supposed to do. Now, saying all that, all right, we had good work, you know, today. You know, we got chased inside because of the rain. You know, this is a kind of game as a competitor you really look forward to. Opportunity to play in a difficult environment, SEC game in our division against a very good opponent. We got a lot of respect for Ole Miss. Coach Luke has done a really good job with this program, with these players, and taken over, you know, a tough circumstance and done a marvelous job with it. And these guys present a lot of challenges because of the quality of players they have, but also, you know, the schemes that they present on offense, defense, and special teams. And I think preparation for a game like this and mindset are really, really important to be able to go have the sort of mental toughness to sustain for 60 minutes. When things go bad, you have to overcome, and you know that certainly happens sometimes when you play on the road. So we're going to have to be at our best in this game to be able to have success against a good team.
Coach, we'll start with another round of Charlie.
After the Louisville game, you mentioned playing Trayvon Diggs at star. Just wondering, how have you seen him and Patrick Surtain at left corner? What have you seen from that combo, I guess, to feel comfortable playing them in a game early on?
Well, you know, we've played them in 2 games in a row to try to get him some experience. I think, you know, we're happy with Shaheem Carter and what he's been able to do, but the one thing that Shaheem is sort of a jack of all trades. You know, he can play star, he can play safety, he's played corner before, he's played money, he's played every place in the secondary, and he's smart. He understands the scheme really well. So, you know, sometimes he gives a little bit of an opportunity to have some diversity in terms of how you play players, and that's why we've been able to change up a little bit. And I think what we're trying to do is, you know, get guys experience for the future. Whether we have matchup issues in the future that we'd like to be able to use different players against, or if we, you know, have somebody missing and we need to adjust in the back end. And I think that's the most important thing. But both those guys have done well at whatever position they've played, and I think this is the biggest challenge they're going to have to date in terms of the quality of receivers that we're going to have to play against, and the scheme that they use, and the quarterback that they have, and the balance that they have on offense.
Coach in the middle with Michael.
Yeah, on that topic, what makes those Ole Miss receivers so dangerous?
Well, they've got great size. They all can run really, really well. They're very instinctive. They have good hands. They're very competitive, you know, type guys. I think they have a lot of confidence in the scheme. I think they have a lot of confidence in the quarterback, and they've made a lot of explosive plays. So, you know, that's a real challenge for us because you got to stop the run too. The one thing that they have this year and what they, you know, the last half of last season, they really bought into the running game and created some balance where you can't just play coverage on them, you know, all the time. You got to worry about stopping the run too.
Back with Cecil.
Coach, has Joseph Bulovas continued to kick consistently through the week, and is that sort of the option going forward after he kicked well in the latter part of the
Yeah,
week?
he's done well all week, and I think he's confident, and that's the plan moving forward.
Coach, we'll come back over here with Taryn.
What's it like having those 3 receivers, Ruggs, Judy, and Smith, as receivers on the team? And also, even though they're all talented, what makes them each different?
Well, you know, obviously both these guys have played well and made explosive plays, and they're very competitive. All 3 of those guys are very competitive. You know, Jalen Waddle has made an impact, you know, at that position as well. I think, you know, all the guys are very competitive. They all can beat man-to-man coverage. They all have really good speed. I think they all can get in and out of breaks. So I don't think one is significantly different than the other. I think they're all conscientious guys. I think they work hard in practice. You know, we've worked hard with them to become more physical players, blocking on the perimeter, and I think they all made improvement in that area. So, you know, I can't really speak to big differences. I just have a lot of respect for the group as a very competitive group that has talent, and they've been productive.
There's one more over on the left, Reiner.
Having coached in college and the pros, is there more of a premium on college offensive coordinators to change up the formation because the quarterbacks at the college level maybe have less liberty at the line of scrimmage to change up, you know, make pre-snap reads, motion a receiver out, or something like that?
Well, I think the game is a little bit different, and I think, you know, when people go no huddle and they go fast, you actually make a choice. If you're going to go fast, you can't have a lot of multiples in formations because then it takes a long time for people to line up. You can't have a lot of multiples in sending guys in motion and creating different scenarios when guys go in motion. I think for the most part, the pro game, I haven't seen very many, but they still get in the huddle. All right, so you're going to get a lot of multiples. You're going to get a lot of window dressing, pre-snap, all right, to get people in different places. The game in the NFL is a little bit more stereotyped in terms of, you know, it's become more and more of a passing league. So there's a lot more route combinations, but there's always going to be a different presentation in terms of how they do it. RPOs are starting to catch on, which I see, you know, has been used by Philadelphia at least last year when I watched them in the Super Bowl. So I think the game is a little bit different. I think most people, I mean, I saw Michigan State get in a huddle the other night when I was watching them play. I think that's the first team I've seen, you know, get in a huddle in college football since the